Well, I want to welcome everybody this evening. This is my first meeting as your president, and I'm happy to serve as your president. So, if we get started here, I would like to introduce the other officers that were elected at the April board meeting, and that is Brock Flowers is our vice president and communications coordinator. And Gary Horvath is our treasurer. Missy Hansen is our secretary. And she's also the coordinator for the maintenance committee. Other coordinators are Randy Arnold is the volunteer coordinator and is going to be taking Pheasants Forever starting this fall. Rainbow Berry is Trout in the Classroom and Bugs in the Classroom coordinators. Linda Radamaki and Michelle Beavis are the Stream Girls coordinators. Matt Jancourt is the River Falls Fly Fishing Clinic coordinator. Ken Hansen and Greg Olson, thank you, is going to continue to volunteer for the winter auction, coordination of the winter auction. Ken Hansen remains our webmaster, and Ed is our riprap editor. I also want to thank everyone for your generous contributions over this past year. It was just amazing. For the half looter, we brought in $12,375. And for the winter auction, it was $20,539. So it was an amazing year for that. I also want to thank everyone for your volunteer time for the variety of programs. The total hours were 6,095. And those hours do go in on a report to Trout Unlimited. It's the annual activity report. The hours, I wanted to kind of let you know what some of the hours were on some of the programs that we sponsor. That's the conservation and habitat, stream monitoring, and the youth programs. We always say that we are sponsoring all of these programs with our funds that we raise. Conservation had 1,804 hours, and the number of volunteers was 78. So Randy, you had lots of hours with not as many people. There were 138 children and 20 adults chaperones for the Greenwood Elementary conservation class on McKinney, and 52 FFA students and 5 Boy Scout students for the Trim Bell. So it was really a nice amount of activity for the conservation. Stream monitoring, which includes the McKinney Project, the Rush River Project, and the Wise H2O streams, was 1,031 hours. I did communicate with Carl Hansen, and their hours were about 300 when they did the Rush Project. So that was, I wanted to make sure that we counted those. And then the education was 556 hours with 73 volunteers, but there were 900 encounters. And what TU National said is you count every time a child has a session. So if there's 3 classes, and they all have those 3 classes. So Rainbow gave the hours from last May, and that was with 8 schools. So that's really something to have. And then it's Pheasants Forever, and excuse me, the River Falls Fly Fishing Clinic also. Excuse me. And then I want to do, Don is in here, but Don Fritz, and the story is in riprap, but I was just taken by the story, and I wanted to extend something to him personally. So I am sending some of our hats to him and his wife Katie, and his friend Al Schmitz for the watering that they did for all the trees on Katy Creek. And then he's agreed to water all the trees on Gilbert, so that they survived through this time. So it's just amazing. Education programs, just to let you know, TIC and BIC still need a few volunteers for the 15th and 16th of May, and April is sitting over there if someone wants to volunteer. Stream Girls is May 11th, this coming Saturday at Ellsworth Rod and Gun, and we have enough volunteers for that. The River Falls Fly Fishing Clinic is Saturday, June 1st, and there are volunteers that are needed for that, and that's Matt Jancourt. And then the summer events. Dave Drewski has invited us back to Ellsworth Rod and Gun, excuse me, for the sulfur solstice date, which is June 18th. And Greg Olson will communicate all the things that we communicated in emails.
Yes, the food approved clubhouse. The
Pardon?
approved clubhouse.
I know, I heard that. So please come. It's in the afternoon or whatever we're going to do that.
Was that June or July?
It's June 18th. And if you want night fly fishing, Greg will take you out night fly fishing. Ben Belt will take you out night fly fishing, or anybody. And then Phil Cashin has invited us back for the full moon fever on August 19th. There's a full moon on that day. And again, Greg will communicate all of those. And finally, I would like to share with you some goals that we're going to plan to work on over the next 2 to 3 years. And number one is the restoration of the salt fork. And it may take us 2 to 3 years. The maintenance committee met with the DNR and Nate and Kasey, to essentially outline the project, get a timeline, and the funding. And that's what's going to probably take us 2 to 3 years. I want to share, though, that we in Kiap-TU-Wish have moved or have carried over $133,282 from last year's fiscal into this year. So that's what we have in the bank. And what we currently have in donor restricted funds are $18,587 and $2,500 match from the Friends of Wisconsin. And that brings us to $21,587, and they're all donor restricted to the South Park community. And that's what's really, I think, important for us to continue to keep in mind as we move forward with this. All the funds were donated. Covia Foundation, and Covia donated, it was Fairmont Central and then Covia, and they've been on the books since I've been treasurer in 2018. We used some, but not all. And then we have the Zucker Foundation of $10,000, a private foundation, and then Friends of Wisconsin. And then we have $94,487 in board designated funds. So we have funds that we can begin to use as we do the future planning with the DNR. Missy Hansen, Gary Horvath, and Brock Flowers are writing for an Embrace the Stream grant, and all in all we need, so we need to begin to, to spend our money. And I might say to you that as I've done the taxes with the accountant, or my CPA that's been doing them, the IRS watches 501c3 non-exempt. And when we bring in money and we say it's for this purpose, and we have to document that that's what it is on the IRS form, and then we don't use it, they will begin to, raise questions to say, so what are you doing with your money? And part of that is because of the number of 501c3s that have come into existence and the amount of fraud that has gone on across the country. So I think we have an opportunity, we don't need to belabor that, but I'm going to let Nate talk briefly, if he can, about some of the things that we could do in staging the South Fork of the Cake. The second goal would be to monitor or to support stream monitoring. We did that with Carl Hansen, we did that with Ken Johnson and Clark Erie. They're running between $7,500 and $8,000 a year. That was last year. But to really continue to support the stream monitoring, which is critical in our field. I mean, we need to know what the streams are like. And then the ongoing fundraising for the WISE H2O monitoring. And then the last one, which is very near and dear to me, is a scholarship fund, or a scholarship program. In March, John Bush approached us and wanted to know if we would be willing to sponsor an intern for the summer for the DNR. He met with Kasey, and Kasey said, reach out to the chapters. So they reached out to us, took it to the board, and we were willing to sponsor 1,700. Whitewater, or Clearwater did the same thing. So Bill Heath said they would sponsor 1,700. John Bush from Star Prairie Fish and Game did 3,400. And then one of their local donors gave them an extra 500. So it was $7,900. I said to John, well, how did you come up with 7,900? He goes, simple. $15 an hour, 40 hours a week, 13 weeks, 7,800. I said, well, sounds good. So we were sponsoring Matt Mason, and he is currently will be a senior at Stevens Point, and he's in conservation and I think water management. So what it really raised to me is what could we do on scholarships, because I talked to John about that. And in a trade-off, I said, would you be willing to share your scholarship program with me? And so he sent me his whole program, application process, how you detail it, and all of that. And they have scholarships on an annual basis. I mean, they give $200-300 to students that are in the field. And he said, you know, we monitor, and that's the key, is to set it up so that there's good monitoring. And he says if they change their major and decide they want to do water management of golf courses, they don't get the $2,000. He said, you know, they have to stay in the field. They monitor their grades, all that kind of stuff. I just think that we have an opportunity. The youth is our future, and I think that we could really do this and put some seed monies in, and people may want to contribute to that as an ongoing fund. So those are my comments. Are there any questions from the floor? Any business from the floor? Okay. With that, not having any, I will introduce our speakers for tonight. So Nate Anderson is going to go first. Nate is our habitat specialist with DNR. He will present an overview of stream habitat improvement projects and future projects, and may give us some thoughts on what I discussed about the South Fork. And then Dustin Schurrer is a limited term employee with the DNR, and he is going to give the overview of the fish surveys and the results of the Plum Creek that was done in 2023. Dustin went to college at UW-Stevens Point, where he received his bachelor's degree in fisheries and aquatic sciences. During his time at Stevens Point, he did a summer internship at UW Extension Lakes out of UW-Oshkosh about the clean boats, clean waters in Vilas County, Wisconsin. He started his first position with the DNR in July of 2021 and is now in a dual role of LTE out of Baldwin office. He's an avid trout angler and spends much of his time on the streams as possible. And Kasey will be kind of a backdrop to that presentation, but willing to answer any questions that you may have. And Kasey is our senior fisheries biologist, has her BA and MA in fisheries biology and management, and she's been here with the DNR since 2018. So it is my honor to present our speakers for this evening. Thank you. I have some things for drawings, but we will do that after the presentations.
Do I have to use the mic?
Yeah. What? What? Oh, I see. There's 2 pages. I understand. It's okay. It's okay. You'll pick up on the camera.
Perfect.
All right, thanks Suzanne, and congratulations. Again, you guys keep pushing out great members, great leaderships. I'm looking forward to working with Suzanne. I appreciate everything Greg did the last 3 years. think Linda said something back there. Say first female president. It's kind of exciting. Anyways, so my talk is I'm going to talk about trout habitat updates, and I have to throw in this other cool stuff because I don't know how many dog owners are out there, but I own a dog, I own a lab, and like 45 minutes before she gets fed, she can't think of anything else. She's just sitting there shaking and shivering and just staring at the door where the food is, just waiting to be fed. And I feel like that's how I am. You guys are just waiting for the fish number. So it's in there. So So we removed them, got the gradient back. Spawning riffles. So this is a spawning riffle. Nice shallow. And then also you can see island complexes. I think I have a pointer on here. Right there. So here's some islands. So this is the main channel. This side would be where the brookies would like to hang out. Just some more. You can see high eroding banks. We slope them back. Keep the good native trees. Here's some midstream boulders to kick the current back and forth. Some more. Then our third project, our final project was Parker Creek. We didn't do a lot because the previous winter, it got warm fast and we didn't get all the rock in there. So we were able to complete just under 2,000 feet, but we stayed there till September 7th to prep. So we removed all the box elders, we sloped all the banks back, we got everything prepped. The rock is on site now this winter. Pierce County got it in. And so now we're just going to place the rock, cover the rock back up, place the habitat in. It should go fairly quick. We got 6,500 feet to go. And Kasey doesn't like when I say this because that's how much rock we're putting in. So stream length is like 3,200 feet. I still like 6,500 feet. So, sounds like we're doing something. We spent $72,000 last year. So this project is located just northeast of River Falls. Highway J is here. This is Pleasant Avenue. We've done a lot of work upstream, and so Gilbert Creek is fee title owned by the state, and Parker Creek is fee title owned by the state.
Nate,
Yes.
when you're done with that 32 or 6,500 feet, depending on who's telling us about it, how much farther do you have to go to the mouth of the Kinney from there?
It's a good question. Quite a ways.
Okay.
Really? Two miles?
Mile and a half, 2 miles.
Yeah, it's a big section. And access in there is very limited to continue habitat work.
Okay. So you're kind of maximizing what you can do
Pretty
with
much.
the access that you have right now,
Yep.
without more easements.
Easements, and there's no roads really going in there,
Okay.
just to get rock in the middle of that. There's some big land tracts that are undeveloped, not a lot of roads going through.
That is eased all the way, isn't it?
It might be,
Yeah.
there's quite a bit of it.
Yeah.
Is it everything?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's an easement the whole way, so. Well, where did the rock come from for the Parker?
Pierce County, so one of their cores maybe on Highway 10.
Okay. So
Yes.
They had to travel quite a ways with it then.
Yep.
What does that mean that Parker Creek is fee title to the DNR?
That the state owns it. So the whole property, I don't know, I should have probably outlined the property, but it's like 120 acres or something there. Fisheries bought it. Did somebody say something?
There's quite a bit of easement on the Kinney right in there too,
There is on the Kinney, yeah,
the old DNR.
right, along the stream. So yeah, an easement, when we talk about an easement typically is 66.5 feet on either side of the stream. And then for example, this is fee title, so we own the whole property. And here's some befores and afters of what we did last year. Super wide, shallow, not a lot of habitat at all. The erosion isn't horrible. It's just super wide. So moving on then to trout stamp. So everybody that trout fishes obviously has to buy a trout stamp. Last year, the DNR's fiscal year or calendar goes from July 1 to July 1. In 2023, we spent $240,000, and then now, so it's from July to a couple days ago, we we used to get a lot of contingency because we spend it. We do these projects are expensive. If we use the money, they're gonna give it to us. But as we get down in my talk, we're gonna start not getting as much as we used to. So now talk about the reed canary grass. You're going to be kidding me. This is a little project in Pine Creek, Pepin County on Fall Creek. So this is Durand, and this is Highway T and 85. We did a project there in 2016. It was really high eroding. I mean, this was a very bad project. It's small water, high eroding banks. We sloped them back, the typical. There is a crosswalk. Here's some midstream boulders. 2022, this is the same section of stream. You can't even see it. All reed canary. So,
Which is an invasive species, right?
pretty much. It turns into a monoculture too, which just shades everything out, chokes up the stream. Trout numbers, they were high. We did the project, they got really high probably because fish came from upstream and downstream, and then they were slowly on a decline. Same with young of the year. This was good nursery habitat stuff. So we saw a sign from Scapegoats, and we hired them.
Where are you in this picture, Nate?
I'm in the back of the trailer pushing them out.
That'll work.
The goats are nice.
They are.
Pretty good.
Where do those
come from?
They are Elmwood. Scapegoats is the name. Dana Myers from Elmwood.
I guess a little.
Do they do residential?
They do. Yep, they do. And yeah, so Scott mentioned, and I think you can see it better, but they got big ones, they got medium size, and they got little ones. And that's because the big ones will take on those bigger trees, and the little ones work the bottom, and the medium sized ones kind of hit everything else. So there's a reason why there's different size. I know, it's kind of long, but it's amazing how many there are.
It's like a clown car.
So they're
There's
not like turning around and
80
coming to the
goats.
other side of the trail.
And this trailer isn't very big.
That's light insurance.
What's that? They didn't escape at all. Yeah, so while we're watching this, they come in, they mow, weed whip an area where the fence is, the electric fence, then they come in and put this temporary electric fence around the area that we wanted. And then they have these recon trail cameras that work 24/7. They put them up in the tree, and Josh and I had the app for it, and the owner did, so we could watch the goats 24/7. We can see everybody that drove down the road would get out and go try to pet the goats. So that was really nice.
Any issue with gutters?
No.
Really?
Yep. And this was the first time that they were by water, so the owner didn't really know how this was gonna go. So they started with this little area of not by the water, but then he really tightened the area up to force them into the water, and it took them 4 days before they would actually enter the water. But then they ate everything.
Does it kill the canaries?
I think over and over. I think you have to do it more than just once.
There's something else. They use them for parks, yeah. Randy, they hate box elders as much as you do.
All right, so there you can see, this is where the fence was, where you can kind of see where he mowed there, weed whipped. This is where the goats, we forced them right in there. One thing we did learn is we're gonna have to protect the good trees that we want, because they got hungry and girdled it, which we were just there a few weeks ago and it's still alive. But we would protect the trees in the future. So then the plan was to come back this spring, which we haven't got there yet. But then so they left. That was in the summer, and then in the fall, we went in there and sprayed this Roundup Custom with the MSO, and we sprayed everything along the stream. And then we were supposed to go back in the spring, which is on our list to do yet. But so that's to add with the goats. The goats will knock it back during the summer. Then we chemically treat it in the fall, and then it's supposed to be the first plant to emerge in the spring, and we can hit it then as well. So it's going to be a kind of a multi-year type deal, and we'll see how it works.
What was the cost per acre for goats?
Right there. Cost was $1,200 for 0.7 acres. They actually charged us $250 for water. Figure that out. They were there for a week. He was hoping to keep it like 2 to 3 days. But that's because it took 4 days for him to actually enter the water. And he would also do more than 80 goats next time. He would really hit it to really put the herd on the reed canary.
Nate, does the herbicide have any impact on the trout? Do you know?
No, it's aquatic safe.
Okay. Is that why it's the Roundup Custom? Is it?
Yes, that is the difference. So here's just a few things that I got from Dana is you know, goats versus mowing, which as you can see, they're really expensive. But they select graze. They're supposed to take, you know, that invasive stuff is more desirable to the goats. And they hopefully will spare the native vegetation, biodiversity. They can reduce the competition with the invasive species and create space for the native. And then soil health, they're a lot easier than, you know, mowing on big heavy tracks, stuff like that. Plus their feces is natural fertilizer. Moving on to projects this field season. Parker Creek. We're going to continue what we did last year. Plum Creek, the Mark easement, which is just upstream of the Von Holtons, south of Plum City. And then we're going to finish at the Kinney Moody, right here in town. Parker Creek, like we talked about, was a fee title. It's the same area. We finished this 1720. We got just under 7,000 to go. We hauled in 7,000 tons of rock for a cost of $106,000. Plum Creek, as I just mentioned, it's upstream of Highway U from the Von Holtons. We hauled in 5,600 tons of rock this winter. We're going to complete 3,600 feet. And this will be the more typical habitat project that you've seen in the past. Kasey and crew found that Bruner Valley is a big producer of the brook trout. Why the brook trout are on the Von Holtons. This is probably going to be mostly browns. So we're going to narrow it up, maybe not quite as much as we did in the past, but deep water, you know, more of the stuff you guys, we're not going to put lunkers in, and we're still going to have red wads, but maybe not as many. And then also Euro structures. Again, sorry for my map, but this is Plum City, Highway U. Right here's the project site. And this is an easement, so this is 66 feet on either side. We'll also put in a parking lot on this side of the road. Just some befores and afters. There was a little bit of some old riprap in here from maybe the 80s, some old outside corners. They protected the corners. What we find is when you rock just the outside corners, wherever you end the rock or wherever you start the rock, it blows out. So that's why we like to rock everything. It's still too wide, shallow, no habitat at all outside of the rock. Then the Kinney Moody project. This is 2,700 feet of one bank. It's here in town. This is a little bit different of a project. It's more of a PR project. The goals will be to reduce the active erosion going on behind the house and improve fishability. There's going to be a ton of people, not just trout anglers, that are see this project. It'll be a great project for TU and the DNR together to work on this project. We're working with the city on a vegetation management plan, so as always, we go back in and plant trees. They're kind of telling us where we should plant them and how many, but they are involved with the project as well. The reason we're doing this project is, I won't get too far into the weeds, but this project is in town, so it's in a zoned AE floodplain. And they weren't gonna allow us to do the project because we need to have an H&H study to show that we don't increase the stream height at all. Well, Tim and Josh from the county stuck their neck out for us and said, you guys have to allow this project, these guys do good work, it's great for the town, it's great for the city. And so we really need to thank them too as well, but, so that's why we need to make it a good project. But it's gonna be a one bank. It's kind of hard to do a lot of stuff with one bank, but it's basically gonna protect the erosion and make it more fishable. This is town. This is Double M or Division Street. And I think the access is at the bridge, and then you'll be able to fish up to here. And then this is actually state-owned fisheries area as here. So I think you can fish now all the way up to the bridge by walking on the bank. Lots of erosion, big mature trees, good trees are falling in. Just it's got too high, it's head cut down enough that it's just putting too much pressure on these outside corners. And then where there isn't, it's not a lot of features. This bank, it's hard to tell. This is the bank here, that's here, but it's probably a good 12 to 15 feet straight up and down. And so every high water event, all that sand and silt's washing into the stream. It's full of buckthorn, and so there's no vegetation underneath. So just by removing the buckthorn will help get some of the grass vegetation. Then where there wasn't a bunch of buckthorn, there is some decent grass, but it's just straight and wide.
You'll have to work around the kayaks when you're working in there.
Yeah. Yeah.
No.
And there was.
How many kayaks does your bucket catch?
And we know it's going to be a tough project because Josh was out there, Dustin too, and Sam, cutting brush, burning brush, and they had the warden stop them and say, no more fires because people are getting smoked out. Actually, not people, just one house complained that there was smoke coming in their windows. So it's tough. It's going to be tough to please everybody.
So is that pampas grass?
So that's Katy Creek in July. So
That's parsnips?
no, I don't even know. I just took this picture off. Everybody knows what the vegetation's like in the summertime. So.
Still.
Oh. Right. So we are again going to mow fishing pass on Katy Creek and Pine Creek. Katy Creek is just north of Elmwood, and this is man, I'm drawing a blank. What road is this, guys? P. Yep. And then Pine Creek down by Maiden Rock. Mow both sides. It'll just be one side, 10 to 15 feet wide, right up to the creek. And so the contractor that we have do this is Extreme Excavating, and he purchased a flail mower for his skid steer. So I think last year was the first year, and I think he did a pretty good job. You guys probably know more, but he seems to be able to get right up to the edge of the stream, which helps. And then we will be doing a maintenance mowing on the Trimbell, on Trudeau, and then we call it the W project. So this is River Falls is up here. This is 65, and man, it's been a long day. W. And so this will be a maintenance mowing. So this will be 66 feet on both sides of the stream. This is to keep the woody vegetation out and hopefully get the grasses growing. We've been doing this for many years now, and then we're hoping that at some point we're going to try to knock back that this is by no means, I honestly can't. A couple years ago when you guys brushed Katy Creek, I was part of that project 20 years ago. And that's how we used to do it. We would do the project and we would walk away. And that was it. And now we found out that when you do that, we can't fish them 20 years later because the vegetation gets so bad. So you guys had to spend more time going in there cutting trees. So we're learning slowly that when we do these projects, we have to stay on top and maintain them as well. We can't just do them and walk them away. So you guys help brush, mulch, tree planting, you name it, you guys are always there. It's unbelievable what you guys do. So you guys are the backbone of success for the stream corridors in western Wisconsin, no doubt. We'll touch on what Suzanne talked about. The maintenance committee with the South Fork of the Kinney. I think Scott phrased it as a treasure worth saving. We've been working a lot together. There's lots of different options, a lot of work to do. Back history, we installed 9 Euro structures in 2020, designed by Lauren. He spent many hours out there critiquing, fixing, changing, and he came up with 18 more spots to put more in. These are creating, I haven't fished it, but it sounds like that's the only habitat out there now. So they're working. It's just endless amount of fine sediment coming down through the system, unfortunately. So we have been mowing the stream corridor, but we're losing the battle with the willows because now the Euros that we put in are all beaver dams, or part of beaver dams. So the committee and the DNR have decided we have to tackle the willows first before we install the Euros. We have to take care of the willows and beavers. So we're gonna hire a contractor to spray the whole property. The whole property is 100 acres. It's gonna cost $20,000. And they feel they can have a 90% success rate on the willows. So just because it's gonna be 20 grand this year, doesn't mean that it's over with. It'll be a multi-year project to get things back to how we wanted, and then we will start with the Euro structures.
Nate, have you ever figured out what the source of the sediment is?
Yeah, if you ever would go to the south and east of that property and go up in the hills, the ravines are unbelievable. There was one of them 8-inch rains that the county NRCS people were trying to put some earthen dams up in there, and it would blow your mind away how deep and how much sediment comes out of these ravines. And I know when we were doing the project in the early 2000s, the county was trying to put these earthen dams in and trying to, get all the landowners in this area, the watershed, on board, but it just never took off. So we've always wondered, do we start at the bottom and work up, or start at the top and work down? And it's seeming that we should be starting at the top and working down in the watershed.
So would you go in and put in more earthen dams or something a little more permanent to prevent all that coming in? Or?
Absolutely, that'd be the best case scenario, but it's hard to get the local farmers on board.
Okay.
And it's a cost out of their pocket. I mean, it's not just like one of these projects where the DNR covers the whole cost. The county does a cost share, so farmers have to pull a lot of money out of their pockets for this.
And NRCS is doing some. I mean,
They're always trying.
yeah, they're always
and-
trying to, yeah,
Yep.
it's not like there's no effort.
Right. So the location of the Kinney, if people don't know, it's just south or east of town on Highway 29. There's a parking lot here. We call this the Hamilton Shed. There's also an area to park. This isn't a parking area. But this is a 10 acres of large willows that we're wondering what to do with. Everything else is just the small willows. The Euro structures that we put in 2020 are in this section here. Next on the list is Josh and Randy have been working together trying to figure out fishing ladders, different options, different ideas. As people, members get older, the styles are getting not as popular anymore.
Higher.
So, so they came up with this kissing gate, which is if you've ever fished the Halverson piece, we put in a goat, I got goats on my mind, a horse gate, but those only work for horses and not cattle. And so most places that we have, because horses are longer and they can't make that corner, where cows apparently can. So Randy and Josh are working on kind of a mixture of all of these. It'll be kind of like that with a gate that is, you still have to go through a gate, but the gate swings open and closes automatically. So there's it's in the works. Hopefully no more ladders. Okay, finally, state budget. It's kind of done a 360 in the 20-some years I've been here. At the beginning, it was very dependent on you guys and outside partners coming up with funding. Trout Stamp, we got like $80,000 to try to do 3 projects. You guys and other chapters, other groups would come up with the rest. Then for a while, it kind of turned around and we were getting a bunch of funding and things were going good. You guys could spend your money how you wanted. And now it's coming back around and it's going to be pretty tight for the next few years. Fisheries alone lost 5.5 full-time positions. So since 2006, we have lost 51 positions for a total of 202 positions right now. And there's several reasons for this. Is fees from most licenses have not increased since 2005, and inflation has increased operating costs by an estimate of 59%. So like you saw, or what I talked about is Gilbert used to cost us $15 a foot in 2010. Now it's double that. Also, license sales have decreased due to many factors. Discounts are also a big deal for our loss, at estimate of 17 million a year. And the deficit was addressed in the last item budget, and they were able to shift 25 million from the forestry account to the fish and wildlife account. And then finally, we are prioritizing our workload to provide the best service we can with the existing resources. So looking into the future, our goal is to engage stakeholders and decision makers about options to rebalance the account beginning in the next biennium that starts in July 2025. And then we want to be consistent and transparent with our public engagement to stimulate support for options that come out with the engagement. So hopefully you guys will be involved with this. And with that, any questions?
So this last point, the way it changes is really through political pressure, right? I mean, you have to talk to your legislators. I mean, this is the Joint Finance Committee and those kinds of folks who control the budget. So if you want a different budget, you have to talk to them.
Well, and I didn't mention, trout stamp can only be used for trout habitat. So that's a good thing. They can't take that away from us. But I think it's going to be more of a push of you're going to have to ask to start raising fees.
Right.
That's really what it comes down to. But it always helps to say, hey, trout habitat is a good thing. Spend your money there. Okay. Good. Yes.
What have you heard about, like, the demographics that are going on in the state or Wisconsin, Minnesota, as far as number of anglers that are buying stamps and licenses?
Yep, it's been decreasing. People are getting older, not fishing as much, doing different things, kayaking the Kinney. So, sorry, that was just my one joke. do know the reason why we had so much money in the past few years is because there's SIG funds, which I don't remember what SIG stands for. Brian, Kasey? I don't, so it's funds. Yes, SIG, S-E-G is short for something. And we have sport fish restoration. So like trout stamp, it goes into a pot and it can't go anywhere. Well, the SIG funds, the state loses that every year. So they get a certain amount, and then if we don't spend it, that goes back to wherever it came from. I think it's a federal thing. So they were using that SEG funds on our trout projects, so then we wouldn't use our trout stamps. So that's why we were getting more and more money, is because we were using it, and and not just fisheries, but wildlife parks. Everybody's losing positions, so they're not doing as much work as they used to, or not spending as much. So we were using that. Now it's above my head, but they found out that, wait a minute here, nobody has any money, we can't give you this money anymore. So we went from literally, last year, we were at the Trimble project, we were supposed to get a brand new $400,000 track truck that we had money for. It was dead set, all the paperwork, everything was done, and all of a sudden they said, we have no money, and we lost that machine. It went from we had a whole bunch of money to we have zero money in days.
So it's kind of like the lack of SAC funds prevents you from spending trout stamp, basically.
So we were using the SEG funds instead of the trout stamp, if that makes sense.
Because I know when they met with the legislators, it was like, hey, that account's got a lot of money in it, we can't raise fees.
Right. And that's because we were using other funds to do the projects. All right, thanks.
Dustin, you have a mic here if you want to use that.
Yeah, I definitely should do that.
Yeah, put that in your pocket, you should be good to go.
Alrighty, for the main event, obviously this is the most anticipated part of the whole thing here, so. Alright, so I'll be talking about our 2023 field season, some of our data from our trend sites, and an update on our watershed surveys that we did in 2023. So kind of an overview of what I'm going to be talking about, just basically our 2023 sampling results on the Rush River, the Kinney, the Trimble, and the Willow. And then we had our watershed surveys that we did on Plum Creek, Isabel, and Pine Creek. So I'm going to start out with the Rush. Looking at Vino in the Valley first here, just kind of our fish numbers from our trend site. So looking at 2023, we did have a juvenile fish increase, so that's our young year fish. And looking at this graph here, so you can kind of get a reference of what I'm talking about. Number per mile is on the left axis there, and then the year is on the bottom. So you can kind of see our trends throughout our surveys. The gray line is going to be your total per mile for brown trout, and then the blue is your young year, your juvenile fish, and then the 5.5 plus per mile is going to be your adult fish per mile. So just so you guys can kind of get what I'm talking about for the graph here. So looking at the graph, you can obviously see a little bit of a decrease in the adult size fish per mile. With that though, we are seeing an increase in the quality size fish. So that's definitely a positive thing to kind of see that those larger fish are coming into bigger populations. Just looking overall too, just in general, our adult fish are still well above the 2,000 per mile mark, so that's above our 90th percentile throughout the state. So it's still looking very good at Vino in the Valley with our survey. So like I was saying, the amount of quality size fish in Vino in the Valley when we did our trend site there was very excellent compared to 2022. You can see on the graph here that there was a very large increase of over 12-inch fish per mile, so that's definitely a positive see, even though we do have a decrease in fish per mile, we're seeing a lot better average size fish above that 12-inch mark, so better, quality size fish for you guys to catch out there. So like I said, awesome increase from 2022 to 2023. And just to put this in perspective, just to see kind of what we're looking at here, this is actually at Vino in the Valley. Brian is actually holding one of our nicer sized fish that we got in our survey, and this was just above Lost Creek at the confluence there. So kind of put in perspective what we're looking at out there for fish size out on Vino in the Valley. The next site that we're going to talk about is the Stonehammer site on 690th. Very similar trends to Vino in the Valley. A little bit of a decrease in our total per mile, but once again, we're seeing a lot better size structure resulting in that. Overall, our densities are still very high. You can see on the graph here that this line here is the 90th percentile for the state. So we're well above that mark for the total per mile, and we're actually seeing a jump in the juvenile fish as well. So good spawning year for the previous year. So good signs of trout density staying similar, and yet we're still seeing a good amount of size structure increase. So this is kind of a similar graph to the Vino in the Valley. From 2022, we saw a big jump of those over 12-inch fish again. So like I said, not as many fish, compared to 2022, but our size structure is increasing, so a lot more bigger fish over 12 inches in these areas in the rush. This is us sampling last summer, actually on Stonehammer there. So usually when we're doing these surveys, it's such a wide area of the stream, so we have to use 2 stream tracking barges. We usually have teams of 3 people holding probes and then nets, so that we can sample this properly. Yeah, like I said, it's a big effort, and it's really important to obviously get as much of the stream as we can. So that's why we use the 2 boats to sample. So the next site I'm going to be talking about is the Kinney at the Aldi and Corey Road site. Like I said, for most of this, it's kind of going to be harping on that larger size, for the fish per mile. So it's kind of an interesting thing to see is, fish per mile is going down a little bit, but our average size fish is increasing due to this, less fish per mile. So in this site as well, we're seeing a jump in juvenile fish from 2022 to 2023, and overall our trout per mile is stable, pretty similar to last year as well. So definitely it looks very good with our survey sites here. And this is just kind of a graph, but once again showing the over 12-inch fish per mile. It's almost dead exact what we had in 2022. So once again, our size quality of fish is a lot higher than it normally would be with those higher amount of density of fish in the stream. This is a picture of us at the Aldi Corey site. Once again, 2 stream shockers, a bunch of fish coming at us at once all the time, so it's always a big project when we're doing this. We always have some volunteers. I know like Scott Stewart was there, so it's always a fun time doing these 2 boat waters and seeing our trend surveys with the Kinney. The next site I'm going to be talking about is Glen Park, our 10 site down in Glen Park. So this is just upstream of the confluence of Rocky Branch. Looking at our kind of numbers here for total per mile, we did see an increase. We also saw an increase of the juvenile fish as well. So a good sign of good natural reproduction from the year before. And these fish over 12 inches compared to last year was very similar. So we're seeing a lot larger size fish in this site as well. So, those fish over 12 inches are more desirable for this section. If you can kind of see too, you can see this major decline for the fish per mile. Unfortunately, we're kind of finding since the dam removal, a lot of that substrate is moving downstream, so it's degrading some of that habitat, unfortunately. So that's why we're kind of jumping down to the fish per mile below 4,000 there. So, but with that as a positive, we're seeing bigger fish. So that is definitely something cool to see. This graph, once again, shows the number of fish over 12 inches per mile. 2022 to 2023 was very similar for the Glen Park site. This year was kind of a cool thing for sampling because we got a larger brown trout that was over 23 inches. but this is us sampling down there at the Glen Park site. And this is the infamous brown trout I'm talking about, so just under 24 inches. So, like I said, densities are lower, but we're going to see more quality sized fish over 12 inches. So that's a very positive sign to see, especially in Glen Park there. So, and this was just right on the right bank there, underneath the lumber structures. So super cool to see a bigger fish like this coming out of that site. So especially out of Kinney. So, and then up next, I'm going to be talking about the Willow River. We are seeing some increased levels of natural reproduction from 2022 to 2023, which is a positive sign, obviously, because we are stocking it. The adult densities are kind of lowering. We're kind of seeing that, 2022 is a pretty big year class, so it's going to kind of come down based off of that, just because of habitat availability and food sources based off that jump there. And then this is a graph just about the brown trout. But the rainbow trout, we're still continuing to stock the yearling and brood stocks every year. I believe this year we are stocking about 3,200 or right around that range there for the rainbow trout in the willow race. Yeah.
Are the brown trout feral or are they stream-born?
In
the willow.
In the willow, yeah, they're stream-born. Yes. Yep. And then they're supplement stocking as well. So and those are wild strain stocks. And then next up, I got the trim bell. So this is kind of the survey, the site that we did on 870th. Once again, kind of decline in trout numbers overall for fish per mile. But like I said, over 12-inch fish is increasing. We're seeing a lot larger fish out there compared to 2022. So better quality size fish compared to a lot more fish per mile. So this is kind of a graph once again showing that 12-inch per mile at 870th, so another big jump. So, it's on the increase for the larger size fish out there just because of the availability of habitat and less fish out there for the bottleneck of smaller fish. Next, I'm going to be talking about the gooting site on the trim bell. Less adults compared to last year, but it's hard to beat 2022. That was one of our best years for size structure and fish per mile. So it was honestly a very good sign to see, in this section. Size structure is still good. And I know Kasey was talking about too that there was some issues with some no trespassing signs on this section. That is kind of taken care of, or we've talked about it. It is above the easement, so fishing in the easement is still there, and there's new landowners, but they are within the easement, and they're just kind of worried about people going off that easement with the no trespassing sign. So everything is still within the easement there for fishing, so there's no worries about the new owners at the site here. And then, like I said, the size structure, the adults above 12 inches on the gooting site. A little lower than 2022, but it's to be expected with that giant year class that we had in 2021. So a little bit of a decrease, but still plenty of very quality sized fish above 12 inches in this area of the stream as well. For example, like this one, we got right out of the gooning site here. So this is a very nice fish, almost close to 18 inches. So like I said, more fish, quality sized fish in these areas compared to last year. And then the last thing I'm going to be talking about on the trim bell is the Buckner's easement site that we do. Once again, kind of steady fish per mile. Overall, it's going to be hard to beat that 2021 year class that we saw, but overall, the whole population is steady with the juvenile fish and the adult fish per mile. And this is actually Kasey out on our site there, measuring some of the brown trout. So once again, we're out there all the summertime there to look at the trend sites. So the last portion of this presentation, we'll be talking about our watershed rotations that we did. So this is kind of a new sampling regime that we've kind of started doing here this last year. Originally, we were doing a rotational monitoring. So this would be streams kind of randomly chosen throughout the year for sampling. And a lot of the times these streams are going to be on an 8 to 12 year rotation. With this, it's going to be a lot of travel time between locations. For example, we could be all the way down at like Big River, and then we could find our way all the way up to maybe like the upper parts of Dunn County. So it's going to be, a lot more efficient without, driving between that. So actually a better indicator of, the whole watershed compared to these rotation sites where we just randomly pick these sites throughout the stream. So we actually get like a bigger, wider scope of the picture of the watershed. This will also help us evaluate stocking, and then for us it'll reduce travel time so we can do more sites within these watersheds. So the Plum Creek watershed, we did 11 total sites. We also did the Bruner Valley Creek, and we also did Unnamed Creek 10-8, 22-11, and 22-12, and then Rock Elm Creek. So a lot of these sites are going to be pretty close to Plum City for the unnamed creeks, and then the Rock Elm Creek is just above Highway 10 there, or above Nugget Lake, sorry. So for Plum Creek, kind of what we're looking at for numbers here, the CPs were definitely excellent overall, seeing plenty of fish per mile throughout all of our sites. This graph is kind of depicting all our different sites that we have for the locations that we sampled. So for example, the Von Holtum site. Von Holtum site is the very downstream section that we sampled, and then the very top section is going to be closest to Nugget Lake, right where it comes out of Nugget Lake at the dam there. So just kind of looking at our best stations, so places you guys obviously want to fish with our best numbers here. I'd go to 330th, that was our best site for fish per numbers overall. It was very excellent for young year as well. It was a good nursery kind of habitat. Another good section too is actually right in town in the habitat section, right in Plum Creek, or Plum City there. So a lot of fish per mile there and quality size fish as well. So kind of looking at the length distribution of kind of the different sites that we did. So if you're kind of looking for those bigger size fish, or you're kind of looking for just fish in general, a lot of the fish that we found, like I said, were kind of in the middle section of Plum Creek. Right in Plum City was probably our best sites there. And then actually our largest fish, which we got two that were over 20 inches, were just below Plum City and in Plum City in the habitat site there. So it's kind of interesting to see our different, classifications of our lengths that we have in each section there. Like I said, our best quality size fish, or the most quality size fish, are going to be closer to Plum City or within Plum City there. And just kind of a picture of what we're kind of looking at. So this is going to be just on County U, just below Plum City. So obviously a lot of shallow habitat. It's going to be log jams, kind of different habitat like that, natural woody debris that's in the stream. So kind of what we're looking at these different sites in Plum Creek. This is one of our larger fish from Plum Creek. It was just under 20 inches. Very nice fish. This was just below County U, so obviously I can't give you, the exact location, or I should say, it was just below upstream of County U. So yeah, like I said, very quality size fish were found just outside of Plum City. And then looking at the brook trout, obviously the decline in brook trout has been kind of documented by Kasey throughout our different trend surveys, but throughout this watershed survey we could see a definite decrease in brook trout numbers just due to the brown trout competition within the stream. So the brown trout are showing the effects of kind of taking over their available habitat and kind of pushing the brook trout downstream, and then or actually upstream. We're kind of finding more brook trout upstream. Just below Nugget Lake was actually one of the better spots that we had. And then downstream, our actual better spot that we found was in the second part of the Von Holtum easement. So a very positive sign that the brook trout still have a stable population, below Plum City and then above Plum City as well. This is a map just kind of depicting where we're kind of finding these brook trout numbers. So kind of what I was alluding to before was that a lot of our brook trout that we were surveying were actually just below Nugget Lake. Yeah.
So can the brook trout actually go into Nugget Lake, or is there anything preventing them? Or?
Yeah, that dam's preventing them from going into Nugget Lake, unfortunately. Yeah, so they won't be able to go upstream. So yeah, like I said, so most of these brookies that we're finding are just below Nugget Lake. Most of our better locations for the brook trout numbers were just below Nugget Lake just over here, relative, it's just off of County Z. There's plenty of brook trout there's a tributary there so they can have a nursery habitat for them to get away from the brown trout.
Is that by Bruder Valley or is that?
No, oh sorry, I forgot to kind of show you where you guys are here. So Highway 10 is just below here, and then Nugget Lake. So this is the very upper section of Plum Creek. So this is just below the dam of Nugget Lake there, the very headwaters of Plum Creek. And then this is the lower section of Plum Creek. So this is kind of showing you obviously the decrease in numbers of brook trout compared to, the brown trout that we have. So like I said, most of the brown trout we're finding very heavily, or the highest densities were in Plum City. So that's why we're seeing a lot less brook trout in these areas. But with Bruner Valley, we actually had this tributary available for these brookies in Von Holtum. So that's where we're finding a lot of those brook trout that were in the lower sections or the downstream sections of Plum. So they're able to go into Bruner Valley and kind of have a safe haven or a spot to spawn compared to the brook trout. So it's kind of encouraging to see that there's still a spot downstream below Plum City that these brookies are still holding in well. So with that, I'm going to talk about Bruner Valley. When we were doing these surveys, we kind of found that it's very similar to the 1999 survey that we had. Very comparable numbers there. A positive sign, though, was there was no brown trout surveyed at any of the stations in Bruner Valley at all, and we actually did a station just in the confluence right where it goes into Plum. So a very positive sign that these brookies are able to kind of get away from these brown trout that are in Plum Creek and have a place to spawn. So it's kind of interesting to see that these brookies are able to take advantage of this tributary to Plum Creek. And just kind of get an idea here of what we're kind of seeing for fish lengths in Bruner Valley. So like I said, this is kind of the safe haven for the brookies to kind of spawn. So this is really good nursery habitat for these fish to go into and kind of get away from the brown trout, and they kind of get to their larger sizes. They can work their way back into Plum Creek to take advantage of the food sources and habitat within the Von Holtum season. So. And then the other creeks that we were sampling were the unnamed creeks 10-8, 22-11, and then 22-12. I know these are original names here for creek names, but that's what we got. So very good numbers of brook trout in these small streams, which is kind of interesting. Like I said, a lot of these brook trout must be going into these tributary streams to get away from these brown trout that are at high densities in Plum Creek. So they're able to go in these little tributary streams to spawn and kind of get away from the brown trout. So pretty similar numbers to the 1999 survey, which is encouraging. So we're not seeing a major decrease in any of the brook trout numbers in these streams. And then the last section that we did on the Plum Creek watershed was Rock Elm Creek. We did 2 survey stations on Rock Elm, and unfortunately no trout were found in this section, so this is above the lake. We did do an IBI survey, which is integrity of biotic, index biotic, yep, sorry. On site 2, and all we mainly found were darters, dace, and minnow species, so obviously it's not going to be good for the trout just because we have a higher or wider IBI there. Water temperature is still 58-62, so I mean it is still a good headwaters for Plum Creek that we have this decent water temperature there. This is kind of what we're looking at Rock Elm Creek. Obviously very overgrown, very shallow, and not very good habitat for any of the trout that are above Nugget Lake there. The next watershed survey that we did was on Isabel Creek. We did 6 surveys, or 6 survey stations in 2023. Most of them were from County V down to Bay City. So this is kind of a map of our watershed survey that we did, and just the watershed in general of Isabel Creek. So at the very top here is Ellsworth, and then you got County V right here, and then we have Esdale right here, and then Bay City. All of our sites were just below County V, and then all the way down to Esdale, and then just before Bay City we have another site as well over there. With this map too, it is not updated actually because we have found that the classifications are not in accordance to what we found in our survey. So Kasey actually put in a new classification section for the different sections of the stream. So as it was class 3 just below County V, and then just below, I think it's like the 4th bridge below on 630th there was class 2. So we're going to be changing this section of class 3 to class 2 because of all the survey data that we found with the fish numbers, and we're going to be changing the lower section to class 1 based off of our watershed survey and our previous surveys in the past year with our trend surveys. This is kind of a map just to kind of see where these fish numbers are. I'm kind of a visual person, so I like to see kind of where these fish are relative to where they are in the actual system itself. So looking at County V at the top here, going down to Bay City, you can see a very obvious decline from, a decline from, our very top side at County V there. Unfortunately, that was part of our fish kill that happened in 2022. So that is why we're not seeing a lot of those fish that are at County V. But we did see some that did make it through, so at least we do have a stable population that were there that maybe survived. But overall, a lot of our fish numbers that we're finding are actually very good in Esdale, and then just below, or just upstream of Bay City there. So if you wanted to go look at the spot to go fish in Isabel, I'd go below Esdale and then going towards Bay City. That's where a lot of our total brown trout were found in numbers. And this is kind of a graph showing our survey sites relative to catch per effort, so our CPs that we find for our surveys. Kind of giving you a reference of where this is here. So Station 7 is going to be our very top section, so this is going to be closer to County V. And then the orange section there is going to be closer to, that's going to be in Esdale, and then Station 2 is our lower site, our trend site, closer to Bay City there. So we actually found that a lot of our highest density of brown trout in Isabel was actually right in Esdale there, which was encouraging to find. So, and just to put in perspective, what we're kind of finding out there, a lot of quality sized fish just below Esdale there. So this is kind of what you're looking at for kind of fish on average for what we're finding. This is a couple pictures of our sites that we did just below, or just above Esdale, so just above the park. And then this is a site that we did just below Esdale. So kind of an interesting kind of thing to see, way back in these different sections of Isabel. And then our final watershed survey that we did was on Pine Creek. We did 4 stations on Pine Creek alone. The total for the actual, on the main stem was 3 stations, and then we did 1 station on the north branch of Pine. All these sites that we sampled were from County AA down to Highway 35. So we're kind of working east to west on the stream. This is just a map of our locations of our survey sites. So this is Highway 35 here. This is County AA, and then kind of working our way up this side road here, kind of County Z, I believe. But like I said, most of our trend sites, or our sites, are going to be on the main stem of our watershed survey, only one at the north branch of Pine. So what we kind of found with the brook trout in Pine Creek, unfortunately, it is considerably down from 2010. With that, we're kind of seeing, obviously, that the brown trout have taken over in this section. A lot of competition between the brown trout, and then unfortunately the habitat is kind of suited better for the brown trout, a lot deeper water, quicker water, so these brookies are kind of harder to compete with these brown trout in these sections. And our CPs kind of show that in our next section with our brown trout numbers, which are completely opposite of the brook trout numbers. Kind of looking at 2021, which was insane, was just at 10,000 fish per mile. We're coming down from that just because that was an insane year class. But still our numbers are almost close to, I believe it's like 6,000 per mile there. So insane amount of brown trout in this section of stream in Pine Creek here. And I just want to give you guys a perspective of kind of what we're seeing. This is just our site on County AA, so upstream of County AA there at the bridge. So like I said, so many fish per mile results in kind of this smaller size range for fish. So we're seeing a lot of these 7 to 10 inch fish throughout this site. But like I said, it's going to happen with a lot of these fish numbers. There's so many, so much competition, it's difficult to get to that bigger size range with so many fish per mile. did not find any brown trout, so once again, maybe it was a possible spot for these brook trout to kind of hide from these brown trout in Pine Creek. Overall, it's very skinny water, very shallow, and what we're kind of finding is just mainly brook stickleback within North Branch of Pine. So, yeah, unfortunately, not as many brook trout as we thought, but at least there is some brook trout using North Branch of Pine as kind of a safe haven from the brown trout. So, our 2024 sampling we're going to be doing, we have the Gilbert Creek watershed that we're going to be doing, the Wilson Creek watershed, and then we have our normal 41 trend sites, and then our habitat evaluation sites as well. And then, obviously, Nick kind of covered this as well, but we want to just harp on, the importance of our maintenance of our habitat work and how important it is you guys are actually helping us out, with this project and keeping the brushing and the mowing kind of at bay there. So our goal is obviously to keep these areas on these habitat sites fishable for longer as much as we can, and then it keeps Nate's team, working on the trout streams instead of brushing and mowing these sites. But we really appreciate all the work you guys are doing on the brushing, especially Randy and leading everybody else there. So definitely want to thank you guys for all the hard work you guys are doing on these habitat sites. And then just an update on our tree planting. So we have some locations that we have birch trout reserve streams. So this is going to be like Gilbert and Wilson Creek that we have these recent tree plantings. I'd like to thank all the volunteers that helped out. It was about 2 weeks ago that showed up and planted these trees at Gilbert. So this was just about 2 weeks ago, but we're kind of showing too that a lot of these trees that we're planting are not just saplings, they're actually larger sized trees. So they're going to do really, really well, and that'll actually help kind of shade these areas of the streams. That's why we're kind of going about this is, shading these brook trout reserve streams and trying to keep these brook trout happy with the shade and keeping the water temps down as much as possible. We did plant 80 trees just at Gilbert 2 weeks ago. The trees that we planted were kind of we went for swamp white oak, cottonwood, we went for tamaracks, and then river birch is the other one that we're doing. And this is a river birch here that we planted. And then the top right is on Wilson there at the Klingman property. So another site that we had planted last year. And then overall, I want to thank Kasey for allowing me to do this presentation. I really appreciate that. And then a special shout out to Brian Spangler, who's here tonight. He's got 38 years of experience, and he's retiring this Thursday. So we just want to appreciate him and what he's done for us. And then Sam Jacobson as well, our awesome team that we have here. So yeah, with that, I'll take any questions that you guys might have.
And if we have questions, I'll run a mic so that our online folks can hear us a little bit better.
Yeah.
Got a great presentation, thanks.
Yeah, thank you.
I'm Isabel, and we have the fish kill.
Yep.
And I was wondering, so on the upper section, below the, did you guys, what I found, I guess, there's so many beaver dams. And it gets so shallow below them that areas that used to have fish, it's too shallow.
Yep.
And when those dams blow out, there's so much sediment now. I mean, all the rock and tile is buried under sediment. I was wondering if you guys saw that and what your thoughts are. If they're good or bad or.
Yeah, we definitely saw a lot of the beaver dams. We did walk those sections of the stream when we were doing the fish kill investigation. But yeah, we definitely saw a lot of those beaver dams that you're talking about. So it's kind of interesting too. Kasey's got it.
On the beaver management list now. I added it this year, so our trappers out there.
Yeah, so hopefully we'll get that taken care of, hopefully. So yeah, like I said, hopefully that'll be taken care of. But yeah, we definitely saw that, and that is a concern for us. So we're going to take care of that. Yep.
What happens to yeah, so trappers I'm not, so it's USDA APHIS, and I believe they'll put me on this. I don't know if they have like a spur option or something at the end of the year and nominate me for education. So he takes all
lot of the times when we have such, high densities of trout, it's gonna cause less food availability, habitat availability. So with these larger fish, we're actually seeing there's less fish per mile. So these fish are able to take advantage of the extra food source that might be in the stream. So that's kind of why we're seeing that increase in the 12 fish, or the over 12 inch fish per mile.
Is there a point where that peaks out and there
Yeah, yep,
reproduction?
yeah, absolutely. Yep, there's an ebbs and flow kind of the population. Kind of what we're seeing here is the young year kind of coming up. So a lot of the times too, we're gonna have a good year class right after that. So we're gonna probably see a higher fish per mile compared to, previous years. So with that, it's gonna be an increase based off the young year natural reproduction. So.
Just to add a little bit to that, like we had huge year classes in 2020 and 2021. So in 2023, some of those fish were like 3 years old at that point. So that's why we were seeing such huge numbers of fish.
Sorry, of fish over 12 inches is because that 2020 year class just worked its way through. So they were making up a lot of those more quality sized fish that year, or this 2022. So 2024 it should be great. Also, we're going to see a lot of nice fish out there.
Any other questions? I'll get right to you. He's going to pass the mic to him real quick.
Thanks for the presentation. I was just curious, it seems like some poor statistics on brook trout overall on some of the rivers, but do you see on any of the sampling sites that maybe not brook trout, typical brook trout streams, do you ever notice any, any numbers of brook trout that are surprising? Any, are there any rivers where you're seeing maybe a slight surprise in the brook trout, or they're present where you didn't imagine them, or are the general trends not good?
Yeah, I mean, we're definitely seeing our general trends are pretty stable for a lot of the brook trout. A lot of our, good brook trout streams are going to be kind of closer to Dunn County, that kind of area. And those are kind of our rock star streams. So like south over the Hay or any of those kind of tributaries based off of that. But overall, it's kind of a stable population.
How about on the Kinnear Rush? Do you notice any changes in brook trout there?
Not significant amount, no, unfortunately. A lot of the brown trout are kind of taking up that habitat availability, so unfortunately, we're not going to have that chance for the brook trout. They're still in there, but it's just going to be a lot less. Did you have a question?
Yeah, you said that you also stock rainbows over by the racing over on the Willow. Is there any other place that you stock rainbows or not?
Yeah. I'll have to ask Kasey exactly. I forget where we also stock the rainbows, but
Yeah, so within the Willow, we stock them in the race branch and then upstream, so like the Fur Park, Boardman area as well, and then Jewett also gets rainbows, and then Perch Lake.
Okay.
Get rainbows in Perch.
What can I say? Try to catch as many species every year.
there you go. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I forgot about Apple, the Apple River too in Star Prairie. We put yearling rainbows in there as well.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, definitely a lot of opportunities to go get some rainbow trout, something different.
Yeah. Try to get one every year.
There you go. Yeah. Yeah.
Are the rainbows reproducing?
No, unfortunately not. No, so we're kind of seeing that. It's just mainly a put and take fishery, more or less. So. Yeah.
Any new easements?
That would be a Kasey question for sure. For
Kasey,
yep.
Yeah, so we do have one. It closed recently. We haven't signed it yet. It's on the O'Galley, right in the town of Elmwood off of P. And I'm working on another one on the opposite bank. So what direction is that? That's upstream of P, right in the town of Elmwood. There's a brand new easement there. I have a lot in the hopper on Tiffany Creek, another on the Kinney, and I just entered several. I'm just waiting on valuations, and one on the Trimble as well. So those aren't like closed yet, so hopefully soon. But if you're interested in any of those, let me know. Otherwise, the King Moody one is also a really recent one that we're doing the habitat project on too.
Sounds like the process is much better than it was before, because I mean, that used to be a loggerhead in terms of getting the evaluations, but what you're talking about seems like that's something.
It's getting there, yeah, for sure. COVID, it was pretty rough. It a very long time period to get evaluation back for an easement. Yeah, we're still struggling a little bit, but it's better.
There's surveys up there?
Oh yeah, there is the survey spreadsheets up here, so I know you guys are looking forward to that, so, yep. 2 pages.
Yeah, so when you take them, you have to take 2 pages and then just pass them. Here, we're gonna take these two.
Yeah.
Take-
These all the same.
No, you have to do this here.
Oh, I see. Okay. I can manage.
Right, I only brought 30 pounds, so yes, you can.
Yes.
Told me to take this one. Thanks to Nate and to Dustin. Great presentations. We always look forward to this, and I did tell them at the last maintenance committee meeting that they're always on in May. So you need to get it on their calendar. So. Did everyone sign in? Where's the sign-up sheet? Yeah, go back.
It's a clipboard looking thing, guys.
I have some flies from.
Got one. Thank you, sir.
Uh-huh, thank you.
No.
Just to randomize.
What I do is just background laws and just.
Here we have two,
Or you can split it somewhere in that way.
two flies from Bob Trevis and Bill Hicks, who is, I think he's in the audience someplace. He donated his flies to Be Good Note. And then Missy Jensen has a, waiter bag. So.
Gotta wait.
Tell some.
You know what, Joe?
No. Joke time.
Anybody else have anything to add tonight?
Don't forget to pay your bill.
Oh, right. Okay. So Dustin.
No.
Much good.
This is sweet though. This tastes great.
Whatever is that there. So this is yeah, whatever. Yeah. Just go down. Or do it. Yeah. It doesn't matter.
Okay.
Just so you get 18, 17, 16, 15, 12. The shotgun's been look so easy.
I haven't signed in yet.
Oh.
That's why I'm sitting here.
We're just gonna review them.
Use your pen. Is this yours?
Yeah.
Jumping Trump was kind of like a foot order around the front of the car.
Yeah, right.
Do I need to put a number down?
No.
No, I'll put it down.
All right. Thank you.
What do we have?
38, I guess.
39.
Next time we're gonna go
All
over
right,
60.
there.
Okay, ask somebody for a number.
Dustin.
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 Calling you around too, okay?
Hey, Dustin.
Yeah.
Can you pick a number between 1 and 39?
25.
Greg Olson.
And a little waiter bag.
Rig.
Okay. Dustin. I need a number again between 1 and 39.
1 and 30?
39.
1 and 39.
32.
Dave Drewski. So these are from Bob Travis, and these were from, that's from Bill Hicks. Okay, another number between 1 and 39. 12.
Vegetation.
Brad Gustafson.
All right, there you go.
These are from Bob Travis. Sorry?
27.
27. Lauren Haas. Thanks to everyone, and be sure to come for the summer events, and we will see you in September for the next chapter meeting. Have a good evening. Thank you. I just want to say one grand thank you to Rock Flowers and Scott Larson for putting all of this together as far as our audio. They went out and bought everything for us to be able. We are on live YouTube for our meetings. Thanks, guys.